Hello and a good Saturday morning to you. This is kind of a mixed bag for me today. In a couple of hours, I'm going to get in my truck. I'm going to drive to my hometown of Lockhart, and I'm going to attend the funeral of my dear friend and teammate, Charlie Branch. I did my crying earlier in the week. I'm going to attempt not to do it today, but there are no promises. But I do want to make this a day of celebration of Charlie's life. Let me tell you about my friend, because he was really special. We met in Little League Baseball. He was a pitcher and I was his catcher. Batters were afraid of Charlie because he would not think twice about putting one in your ear. I was afraid of him because I was his catcher, and if I ever wanted to talk to him, he would shoot me one of these "don't you even think about it" looks, and I paid attention. Fast forward to high school varsity football, 1971. Our team, the Lockhart Lions, won Lockhart's first district championship since 1962 and very last one since. But our first round opponent is a Uvalde team that is 11-0, ranked second in the state, and they had just wasted a Cuero team who had beaten us pretty soundly earlier in the year. So we have the pleasure of reading in the newspaper that we, quote, "don't have a snowball's chance in hell." It's Tuesday's practice, and we're going through a very brief live and in color defensive session. So it's full contact, our defense against the scout team offense. And very early in that drill, the scout team offense runs an outside running play right at Charlie. Charlie lines him up, but then kind of gives it a little bit of this and olays him. No other way to put this. Turned it down. I'm horrified. We're all horrified. Our wonderful coach, Roy Dollar, who was and remains a very composed man. Coach Dollar, not a crazy coach. I've been around crazy coaches. I later became a crazy coach. He's very composed, but he gets about as angry as I've ever seen him, and Coach Dollar is just turning crimson, and I'm standing like 6 feet away from this. Charlie played cornerback, and I played that hybrid linebacker safety position that at the time was known as rover. So I'm standing next to all of this. So Coach Dollar fronts him up, and he's looking right through him. This goes on for what felt like 30 minutes. And finally, Coach Dollar, after throwing his cap, says, "Charlie Branch, what if this had been a game?" And Charlie, completely composed, he's not being a smart ass, there's no insolence. He just looks at Coach Dollar and says, "Coach Dollar, sir, if this had been a game, I'd have stuck him and he'd have coughed it up." I'm thinking, why don't we all just start running right now? Okay, this is like the end of the world as we know it. We're going to be running till Valentine's Day. So Coach Dollar keeps looking at him, and I'm waiting for the eruption. And finally, all I hear is, he couldn't help it. Coach Dollar thought, at some level, Coach Dollar thought that was hilarious because he knew Charlie meant it. And the truth of the matter is, it really improved the tone of our practice for the remainder of the day. And now here's the capper. 3 nights later, at what was then Northside Stadium in San Antonio, the snowball in hell prevailed. It did not melt. Yeah, and here's the deal. Early in that game, Uvalde ran that same play to the same place, and Charlie not only stuck him, he impaled him. And yeah, he coughed it up. Lockhart 21, Uvalde 6. I've never known anybody like you, buddy. Rest in peace. I love you.